here in game one, especially with that little bit of a lane swap, putting Kunkka into the safe lane that you very wisely noticed as the draft ended. And of course, as is tradition, we have a pause to start off game one of this best of two. The old tips are coming out.
Yeah, well, the Dota game without a pause. Man, I love some pauses. Maybe they pause the game so they can type, good luck, have fun. Bob Fiend, Bob says.
Fiend. Yeah, Ari is a typical UK boy. Like, wait, what are you saying? You're saying things I don't understand. Oh, Carlo, yeah, Carlo, drop in some Tagalog, I guess. It's food. Interesting. But yeah, what's the build on this Night Stalker then for Tomado? Because I remember the old days, the Filipino Night Stalker carry back at the ESL Hamburg like 4 years ago was going Ags Rush. Is that the same story, or are we going more of this like Armlet BKB Blink, Shard kind of deal?
Not anymore, I would say. I've seen carry Night Stalkers going for Radiance build. So might opt to go for it because the hero doesn't really need items. I think the hero becomes super tanky early on, so you can play off with no items pretty much for 15-20 minutes until like just phase boots pretty much. I think the Armlet one is also a good one. I don't mind it too much. I'm not a big fan of Aghanim Scepter nowadays. Maybe back when it felt like slightly stronger. I don't know, but we'll have to see. I think it's still got to be a Radiance build. You're playing into Shadow Fiend. You're playing into this Ghost Ship. So once they tick down, once the run buff wears off, you can play with the Radiance. It's really nice. And also Kunkka, you know that carry Kunkka wants to buy Armlet, so maybe the tick will kill him. There's a lot of layers to it.
Yeah, and then the ability to disassemble later on down the line. Now, looking at Tomado's last Night Stalker game, it was that Radiance build and then disassembling into Nullifier later on.
Yeah, that's
didn't finish off like a butterfly or anything, but has the ability to go Halberd. And of
Halberd
course, he did get that. Did get that blink as well. But yeah, having Radiance into Nullifier Halberd against SF, against this potential Undying Ghost Scepter, maybe another Ghost Scepter somewhere else. Yule's also very handy, but we'll see what Tomado gets up to here in game one, as the runes attempted contest bottom. Oh, Carlo, he's going to steal it. So 3 go the way of Execration as Parlos drops back to grab that last one. Get themselves out into the lanes. And you're going to have an Undying Kunkka lane.
So strong lane, a lot of harassment. Palos can farm underneath the tower. Has some sustain from Undying if he decides to put a point in Soul Rip. And we see Carlo looking for a sentry ward that hasn't been placed. Ari, starting with the Boots of Speed, wants to be able to keep the distance. Darkseer, I don't think they're going to be able to do much at the first couple of levels. Want to see if Palos decides to get like early boots, something that has been queued up, or if he wants to be able to get more regen in the lane, sustain with that helm. Mid lane, this is the lane to look out for.
Oh, yeah.
We see the CS Shadow Fiend doing good. 3-2 already.
And
it's gonna get rough. Like once you hit that level 3, once you hit that level 5, you're gonna get harassed so much by Shadow Fiend.
Having the handful of mangoes as well, keeping that regen. Make sure you can spam the raises to secure some more last hits. Yeah, bro, like you mentioned during the draft, has to be very wary of the rotations from the 2 supports. The ability for Shanks Mirana or this Undying to come into the mid lane, potentially to guard runes or just go in onto Broil. Definitely there. Top lane looks like Shanks is taking a bit of a beating from the Enchantress. Whitemon on the edge, always going to be chipping away at people, being annoying. Get up in their faces, allowing Night Stalker just to continue free farming. As bottom lane, classic Darkseer lane stuff, right? It's not a lane anymore. There's creeps being dragged around everywhere, and they're just trying to get Kasane levels on the Darkseer. He's still level 1, almost 2 minutes in, and we know Darkseer needs to hit that level 3 at the very least to really feel comfortable in lane.
Darkseer doesn't really want to play Dota. Level 1, level 2, this hero doesn't really do much unless there's a way to do it when you use creep skip. Like you meet the creeps behind tier 1 and tier 2 tower, and then you can just like kill the wave, you impale them, or you roll with the Earth Spirit, slow them down. And looking at the CS, things are looking good for Shadow Fiend. A lot of denies, 7-4. Pangolier in this matchup, he's going to be focusing on mostly CSing, can't really deny in this matchup. Gets difficult, and we see Bob One raise, two raise immediately. It would hit him with the triple. Oof, that was close.
Yeah, down to what, 20, 30 health. And this might just be a long walk back to Fountain for Bryle. Go back, refill, come back to lane. But that's going to mean now Bob is going to hit level 4. And should have the ability to just like go get Bounty Rune if he wants to. Courier snipe out from Ari. Does snag Carlo's little chicken. And this is just what you've got to do. Drag waves. You don't want to be laning 2v2 into an Undying lane. As a Darkseer and a Snapfire. Try and give as much room as you possibly can. But this does mean that Palos in the straight 1v1 is coming out on top. 12 and 5, stacking up denies. And all three lanes, honestly, going very well for Execration. TSM struggling a little bit.
They did pick themselves strong laners. This is Beastmaster Mirana. Mirana still keeping a point. Thinking about whether she needs a lead. Needs to bring some regen to this lane. Puts a point in Starstorm. Whitemon needs to be careful here. If he gets hit by level 2 axes, arrow, and the Starstorm, he's gonna die.
Ooh, arrow flies past. They tried it. The skill shots miss, unfortunately, for Execration. And Whitemon just gonna pop the Nature's Attendants and try and trade hits with that Mirana.
This is level
Another
2 Starstorm.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage.
But
Even
also
pops the Fairy Fire, and axes are coming.
Another arrow. Let's go. Snipe him. This is they're not gonna even try.
The old Holy Hexor video with the shiny, bright white of the arrow flying across the screen. Not gonna come. Instead goes for the Courier Snipe. Nice item drop, though. We didn't see it on screen, but Tomato dropped his raindrops on the ground as his courier was dying to make sure he got the items delivered.
Done. Top lane complete domination by this Shadow Fiend. Bob doing pretty good.
Bob. I'll just never get over his name. It's Bob. Have you Oh my god, never mind. It's fine.
Don't get it banned, Gary. Oh,
no,
Kasane.
My brain just lagged. I just had a Blackadder. Have you seen that show? The old English comedy. Do you remember the World War I or World War II episode where the woman pretends to be a man to join the army, and they're asking what's your name then? My name's Bob. And she's just called Bob for the entire...
I don't remember. I watched it a
remember
long
that?
time ago.
Okay. That's like one thing that's ingrained in my memory. I just love calling things Bob. Like one of my hard drives is called Bob. It's just such an easy, fun name to say and think about. Oh, there we go. First blood from the Night Stalker onto Shanks. Mirana.
That's
Tino
a really...
unable to save him.
Greedy build from Shanks. Like, he put a point in Sacred Arrow, put the second point in Starstorm. You don't have a leap 5 minutes into the game. I've seen Mirana's 4 get leap level 1, kill couriers, because that's like a new tech build. I don't know if you've seen it. It works out really well in the lane. Like, you get level 2 anyway.
Just jump around, kill couriers. But yeah, first blood for a lane that was being dominated. It feels a little better now for Tomato. Whitemon still have to be careful under the Hawk. They see where the Ench is heading. And Tino and Shanks don't want to continue, while we do see a move in towards mid. Top rune being guarded by SF and goes for the Requiem, just blows up Bryle. And now Ari, no cookie points, just going to wander away from Carlo's movement. As an Arcane Rune did get bottled by Bryle before he died, but I don't believe that's worth it. And back up the top, Tino dead. Another one traded out for Whitemon's Ench, but yeah, Tomato. Feeling pretty good now. A couple of kills in his lane. Starting to get closer to level 6.
But the big difference is coming out from the mid lane. Pango sitting at 2,000 net worth. Shadowfiend already hit 3k 6 minutes into the game. Bob knows that they're going to try to play around him because Shadowfiend's one of the easiest heroes to gank. Good usage of the Requiem. You don't expect SF to have Requiem that early on. Finished off Power Treads. Let's see if he decides to pick up like some early cheap damage like a Dragonlance into a BKB on the Shadowfiend. Level 4 raise is already done. SF is tanky. He does have Magic Wand, Infused Raindrop sitting underneath the tower, get some extra armor, switches Power Treads to Strength. So they need to bring probably an extra hero to be able to kill him. Brawl now looking for a kill because he does have Arcane Rune in the bottle.
Yeah, wants to get some use out of that Rolling Thunder. Because during the draft, we were talking about how Pango usually excels when he is level 6 first, looks for a solo kill mid, or transitions and moves into one of those side lanes for the team fight. They're currently sat mid, while down at bottom, we do have an X-boat from Palos. Straight onto Ari, and again, there's no cookie points here, so Carlo and Palos pairing up to take down the Snapfire. And Lacoste, honestly, looking at the CS board, the green bars are all there up at the top, and I was looking for Darks here for a long time, just like, no, where is he, where is he?
Oh, I thought the green bars meant you're doing well, and the red bars is like, yeah, you could be doing better.
You could be.
Roll from Bryle, faking it.
Thinking about it, mid. 3 heroes here for TSM gathering up around this enemy Shadow Fiend. They're not going to go for it under tower, though. Those Darks here having the worst of times. 16 last hits, still level 4. Unable to lane against Palos right now.
Classic Darkseer contribution. I think we all experienced it. If the lane doesn't go well, the hero can't really farm. Also, his triangle can be stacked. The big camp that he wants to farm, it has been blocked by Carlo. So Carlo doing a very good job just setting things up in the enemy triangle. And now Bryle making a rotation to the bottom lane. They want Palos. I don't know if they can, if they like misuse their abilities, they're not gonna get the kill.
Yeah, and Boat's coming back off cooldown. Armor isn't too far away, needs a little more gold for it. As Whitemon did get picked off towards that top rune spot. But down at bottom, the attempted dive under tower gets cut short. Carlo was in a great position there to potentially just drop the tombstone on 3 of them. And you even have the ability for Execration to TP down here and defend their tower as well. As it looks like TSM
they're gonna
going
glyph. Try to look for an angle.
Attempt onto Carlo. Rolling Thunder's there. Palos sidesteps in.
Palos.
You've got Ion Chill on this Pango, and he will slice down the Undying. But now the turnaround from Palos. X-Mark, Torrent, it misses. The boat does land, but the raindrops buys a bit of time for Ari to pop his magic stick. Still dies. And Bryle, what's he got left? A shield crash and a swashbuckle. The arrow hits into Kasane. Short range one, so no stun really there. And X-Mark on cooldown for 5 seconds. Palos attempts the blind Torrent, but Kasane will be able to surge back towards his tower. Are they going to try and continue for this? There is another leap, and Kunkka just keeps on punching him. Kasane gets the drop on them with a vacuum, but the final touch from Shanks is there.
That's why I said Bob, this is a difficult kill to get.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they're moving up top. Nightstalker's died behind tier 1. Bob is regrouping with his team. And it all comes to a close, or does it? Carlo gets jumped on now. There's 3 fights happening at the same time. Undying, Soul Rips for a little bit of health. But in the end, it was just a lack of damage from TSM that became apparent.
Steady 2k lead for Execration in the last couple of minutes. But this gank on Palos, Bryle now in trouble. Let's see if Shanks decides to... Maybe Chase has 2 more leap charges. Does not want to commit to it.
Whitemon just going to try and pressure that top tower, keep Tino at bay. Shanks with a DD rune chasing out Kasane. It feels like, yeah, TSM at the end of that nighttime, now moving into day, just trying to cause a little bit of chaos. But this is where Execration can start gathering their forces if they want to and start thinking about these objectives. They have chipped away at tier 1s a little bit, but not yet a concerted effort to bring any of them down.
Carlo
Whitemon
ran down by Enchantress.
Yeah.
He's going to be fine. He got the Observer Ward killed. So far, so good for Execration, I would say. I did mention during the draft their double BKB timing. It's 1 cheap item, Dragonlance, 4 Shadow Fiend, Armlet for Kunkka into BKBs. So the damage output and the, like, oh, boat, bottom.
Yeah, Kasane shows his face in that bottom lane. Just immediate X-Mark from Palos. They were waiting for him. And in the mid lane, Bob is playing very, very carefully. Knows that the northwestern side of this mid lane is the angle of attack from TSM. Very telegraphed by the fact that Whitemon has been camping in the Ancients area for the past couple of minutes. So you know that Enchantress and likely Snapfire are coming from that left-hand side. So Bob stays to the right, and Carlo under the Moonlight Shadow, tracking back and keeping tabs on Ari here. They were trying to get on top of this Tino Beastmaster, who has been left alone for a little bit. And the drums of Slom are coming, Lacoste. No hell, no nonsense, the drums.
Yeah, I did mention that he might need to change things around because he's playing into Nightstalker. Ari.
Carlo, immediate Centaur stomp off the back of the cookie. Rolling Thunder's good from Bryle with the kisses. Tino gets the roar down, and Shadow Fiend looks to open up onto Bryle. On the right-hand side, they get back onto the Snapfire with Carlo and Shanks. So 2 for 1. Execration guarding their Ancients, and TSM, again, just trying to make a little bit of noise on the map here to give Tomato his Radiance timing.
Execration was so ready for this move, and Palos also looking for a solo kill. Might be too of a difficult task, because he does have Raindrop, he does have Vanguard, but he keeps harassing him. Tidebringer is on 2.8 second cooldown with that Arcane Rune. He feels unkillable at the moment on Palos. They need to bring multiple heroes, like 3 heroes, commit with the Rolling Thunder and Kisses probably to get a kill.
Yeah, so with this Darkseer having such a poor time and being just, harassed out of the game, it's not the lane anymore. He's just not being able to play Dota 2 for 13 minutes. What's the game plan for Kasane here? Is it just buy auras, tank up, and hope that the mid game goes well with your Night Stalker Radiance?
Yeah, this is what they're looking for. He's just almost said a recipe. Some habits do die hard. Talisman of Evasion away from Radiance, and this is going to be Ion Shell on your Night Stalker. He runs in, Snapfire Kisses, the Fusel Blade will be finished on Bryle, but looking really good for Execration at the moment. Both supports guarding the entrances to the triangle where Tino is farming, and he's going to hit a good timing on Drums of Slum. For people who don't know, it's decent ability. Ooh, Swashbuckle misses. I still think they're going to be able to get the kill here.
Looks like it. Bryle should have the bounce back in towards Beastmaster. Oh, he attempted the roar. Not fast enough in lifting the arms. Carlo, under the cover of invisibility, should be okay here. But, ooh, there's a dust. Whitemon gives the reveal on the Undying. And they've just left him stranded. Arrow slides straight on past Bryle. While in the mid lane, a vacuum on Bob with the wall there. Now, X and Boat Kasane, Requiem thrown by Bob, trying to get the kill on this Darkseer, but now the Kisses arrive, and Ari gets a double kill. Palos now the one all left alone. Down goes the Snapfire as Shanks makes the rotation across, but Night Stalker's in. Sees the Kunkka. Target acquired.
Can he toggle?
Diving for it, gets the kill. Can't toggle through the damage. Shanks, he just jumps in, slices into the Enchantress with a nice bit of Starstorm damage, and now the Roar on Tomato, forcing him to pop his wand and run away. Limping out of the danger zone, Bryle and Tomato, they struck while they could and get some really big kills. A Kunkka and SF there are meant to be these unkillable, unstoppable objects, but TSM found a way.
Not a bad trade for TSM. They are buying time. Ari finally getting something, getting those kisses, getting the kills. Kasane is still struggling. Like, he needs to play with the Night Stalker once he finishes off his Radiance, which is just a 25 gold away. Level 11 Night Stalker. Let's see. It's also nighttime, so for the next 5-6 minutes, you're going to be able to go around the map and get stuff done. Thing is, Kunkka will have a BKB. Palos, most farm hero in the game at the moment. Level 13, Jesus.
Yeah, he's absolutely huge. Monstrous Kunkka right now. And we've not yet seen Execration play as 5. They've been doing a similar thing to what TSM have, fighting in these little pockets and groups of heroes. Oh, the arrow.
Arrow. Tumbler's Toy does help out.
Oh, yeah.
What an item, Tumbler's Toy.
Oh, don't you start as well. I've had 3 weeks of Trent being like, it's just waiting for the patch and Tumbler's Toy's removed. This item is too strong.
Yeah, it's going to get nerfed to probably going to get removed from the game, not even kidding.
Cycled out, yeah. Yeah, I think it joins the Iron Talon stuff in the old neutral item cycle bin. Like, we had a couple of games where it's 40 minutes in and we had some offlaners. We had, like, every Beastmaster game, he's like, oh, what neutral items are there? Tumbler's Toy, 40 minutes? Yeah, seems good. Oh, that's the one I want. Basically a tier 4 item. Oh, Tomato. Good silence. I don't know if that's going to stop the X-Boat. It's timed. Very simple setup for Palos there.
Shanks, he's all over the place, stabbing with the arrows, has Kunkka to play with Beastmaster Roar, and seems like they're not done. Oh, he's steeping mid. I love this move.
Oh, so good. Yeah, this Moonlight Shadow giving them the ability just to maneuver all the way across the map. Bryle does get off the Rolling Thunder, though, so a little more challenging for Execration to find the kill. Kisses
good
even
kisses
raining
again.
down. Yeah, landing on the Undying, going to finish him off. Carlo's gone. Ari from super long range has the backup here from Kasane as well. Darkseer thinking about that vacuum, but won't drop it in the end.
Still a good trade for Execration. They get the kill. I want to go back to itemization a bit. This Beastmaster Aghanim Scepter, I said, you know, it's a new tech, it's good, but you're also not getting the full value out of it because you don't have that Helm of the Dominator, so you're not healing that one. Jesus, the damage from Night Stalker.
Yeah, he was slowed to a crawl by these boars, but in the end, he just keeps on crawling towards that poor old Beastmaster. Palos is pretty low HP here as well. Looks like he'll skip back towards safety, though. TSM playing with their vision. Obs Ward in front of Roche Pit. Vision up in their top jungle as well. Just trying to make sure they've got these protected areas. And Ari, he had an attempted cookie onto Palos, but in the end, this X-Mark arrow is going to zone him out of the fight until Bryle arrives. 3-man shield crash and the swashbuckle while Tomato's charging straight towards Shanks. Wall is dropped, Moran is dead, the streak is taken, BKB up from the Kunker and his boat thrown as well. But I don't know, Execration, they've got to turn and run from this one. Carlos died to Bryle elsewhere, and a raw turnaround here, maybe with Tino and Palos, but they can't.
What?
They cannot armlet toggle through this damage. Execration trying to fight without their Shadow Fiend. They just throw away so much and give TSM a new lease on life.
They needed to roar this Night Stalker. Also, Shadowfin did have TP available, plus Region Rune, so could have easily joined the fight, but I guess Bob wanted to finish off his BKB, and now the game's pretty even. TSM with all the right moves, but I think it also comes down to Execration not being there with the full squad. If they're 5-manning with Shadow Fiend, with Beastmaster and Kunkka, they can take fights relatively easily, I would say. Now, Night Stalker, you have Shard already finished, getting closer to his BKB, level 15 as well. Pango also recovering. Bryle needs, like, he's in the middle of the pack because things didn't go too well for him in the laning stage, but still with the farm that he got, he's doing a lot. Involved in 9 out of 14 kills. Not too bad.
Yeah, then Kasane as well, right? He was bottom of the cause, very sad, tears in his eyes. Now he's tied things up almost with a Beastmaster in terms of net worth. As a Crimson Guard, becomes incredibly tanky along with the rest of his team. I think it's got to be said that TSM with this Night Stalker are doing a very good job at picking their fights around nighttime. Knowing that Night Stalker is going to be stronger, and Execration may be getting sucked into fights where they didn't need to be. Like that top jungle, you know, your Radiant side, top jungle, feels good to play there around the Roche Pit. But your SF was waiting for BKB. And we saw Bob pick it up and finish it off after that fight ended. It feels quite likely that he was making the call to say, hey, I'm not joining until I've got this item. So we do have another bit of a spike in power here for Execration.
I also thought that Palos in that fight is going to be X-marking, ghost shipping, Night Stalker, using a BKB to deal the damage, because I think it would make a difference. He was kind of forced to use a boat without X-mark, tried to run away, in the end he dies, and they're picking out Tino, because he's underneath the ward, so...
Oh, he is.
Drums of Slum, still haven't seen it in action. Sounds very fancy. It's like, wow, it's so good. It deals a ton of damage, though. But if you get silenced by either Night Stalker, they have limited amounts of stuns, so it's not going to get cancelled. And going into Pipe next, I love the Pipe because you're playing into Snapfire, Night Stalker with the Radiance, and they will get him.
Yeah, take him down. Palos again with his X-Mark, just setting things up so simply. This is still Tomato on his way to BKB. Needs another 1,000 gold, and he'll have that completed. So this is the time now where Execration really have to do something on the map. There's another 3.5 minutes until nighttime. They've just killed the Night Stalker. Do they go Roche, or do they think about a tier 2? What's the idea?
I think it's time to poke Roche, see what happens, because TSM will probably try to contest, well, BKB already.
Yeah, Palos just goes for it. They'll catch out Whitemon. Arrow tanked up by the Wild Wing, but Whitemon dead, so another hero gone for 30 seconds. And TSM disadvantaged heading towards this Roche Pit fight. Losing their high ground vision too. While Ari has an Ags on Snap already, by the way. Support Snap has an Ags, gobbled up and cookies the Darkseer to try and ward and de-ward the high ground. We'll see if they head towards the pit now.
Snapfire, level 2 Mortimer's Kisses after he consumes a book. Let's see the damage.
Tomato He's onto Shanks. Boat is there, trying to give a bit of cover. Requiem fears, Aegis grab. Bob has it in his hands. Turns and fights the Pango, stuck in place. Braille in trouble. She'll crash over the high ground, but he's still dead. The projectiles from SF chase him. Kasane goes 1v1. Mano a mano with the SF, takes him down, but that's first life gone. While Palos, on the toggle, gets away from the impetus damage. He's still alive, but blasted down. The shotgun hits him. And Scatterblast will claim his life, but Execration still running away with this fight. Ari's back in to protect Tomato, gobbles up a big old creep, but the Night Stalker's the one running away and hiding. They might still lose Ari here as well. Tino and Bob were giving chase. The zombies are following, and Ari is a scrape away from death, but Tomato's going to cover him. Kill the zombies back towards Fountaindale Head. And yes, Execration trade 3 for 3, but Aegis is grabbed up by that SF and allows them to hold their ground in that fight with his second life.
Still a good fight for Execration. Like, he manages to get the Requiem off, knows that they're not going to be able to deal with it. There are still no BKBs on their side. Rolling Thunder comes in slightly too late. He gets roared. Brawl even dies in the end. So, like, the first usage of the Aegis isn't really there where they want to, like, pressure the towers. You have level 15 on SF. Presence Aura affects buildings. And looking at the next set of items on their side, AC on the menu for Kunkka. Beastmaster finished off that pipe that we mentioned, and SF going into Shadowblade. So it does have that finished. Bob can carry the game on his own once he gets like 2 more items. I want to see if he commits for a full Silver Edge, or if he wants to get Satanic to have like a second life, stand in the middle of a fight, gets those right clicks in.
Yeah, and we see how important it is that Night Stalker is able to kind of lurk around, right? Tomato came from that northern side, shifted to find the Mirana, as Kasane is going to get tagged by the boat, but dodges the arrow, and thankfully is cookied away from the dangerous spot he was in. But yeah, that fight all started off with Shanks being focused, using the mech very early on, trying to keep themselves alive, early boat as well. If Tomato can find more opportunities like that, where he's killing off and forcing buybacks out of supports, there's so much chaos from him, the Rolling Thunder, the Vacuum Wall. It can be hard to position yourselves as Execration, as Braille just goes straight on towards the SF and forces an early BKB.
Ooh, look at the damage from Enchantress.
Low from the impetus shots, has to BKB as well. TSM just shove Execration out of that top jungle, get the hell away from our tier 2, bullying them away. And yeah, Execration have to regroup.
Ari, with those Mortimer's kisses, has been really on point throughout the whole game. Like, I would love to see the damage dealt by him, because it feels he's always there, always fighting with the team. And now they know that Kunkka does not have a BKB available for a minute. They're going to instantly smoke nighttime hits. They should know something is up, because they just showed in a mid lane. Let's see if they can find anything. Rest of the Execration members trying to fall back.
Yeah, I mean, the night is dark and full of terrors. And who's down bottom is Palos, this Kunkka with no BKB. Tries to TP, but the Vacuum's there to cancel it out. And a huge kill for TSM. Try and levy this into a bit more control. Yeah, you see the line drawn right across the map there from Tomato. Hey, we can cover all of this ground. We are very quick on our feet. Make sure that Execration don't have any room. Don't let them even gather a wave mid. Bob is trying to sneak out onto that top wave. Looks like he's going to be successful in doing so, while the rest of Execration are cowering in their base right now.
Now it's time for TSM to strike back. I love that they play so fast. They see small opportunity, BKBs on cooldown. They go for something, they get the stuff done, and then they control the map for another like 50, 60 seconds until someone respawns. And now they are getting another set of items on their side. Pangolier finished off his Aghanim Scepter that he was trying to go for a long time. Kasane with this Crimson and Mech will make everybody more tanky. Going into Vlad's Wraith Pack next to reduce the damage from both Kunkka and SF. While going in.
No panic. Oh, the roll into Gobble Up. SF caught out. The kisses landing. Howitz raining fire down onto Bob. He had to BKB defensively yet again. And another opportunity for TSM. This ability just to chuck the Pango into the middle of the fight. Really executed beautifully. Cookie to try and save Tomato, but look at that Requiem. Huge from Bob, set up by the rest of his team. And a Roar on the Darkseer should follow through and kill off Kasane. Palos Who's he grabbed here? X-Mark to try and drag Ari back as the Snapfire and the Torrent clips Whitemon's Enchantress, cancels the TP. Palos pulling out all the stops to make sure they get 4 kills off the back of this fight. This is during nighttime. This is when TSM are meant to feel strong. They spend SFBKB but still fight back.
It was a difficult situation for Tomato. Either you pop a BKB and then you need to run away, you can't take this fight, or you get hit by an arrow and then they burst you. I love the Requiem. Shadow Fiend players got so much better over the time at using Requiem, not going for like these solo fancy kills. Instead, they use it like as a zoning tool, a little bit more control that you need so he can't use the BKB. And Bob gets that in the end. Level 18 SF right now with the Silver Edge done, so he can break Pango, break Enchantress as well. Like, even though they have magical damage, sometimes dealing with the Enchantress can be very annoying. Yeah, things are looking really good for Execration. They kind of threw the game in the mid game with that 1-2 big bad fights, but they're back on track.
Yeah, I mean, you called for it right from the start of the game. It's that double BKB timing that felt good for Execration. Even though they lost a couple of fights, they still had that ability to punch back a little bit. And now we're looking at, Assault Cuirass on the Kunkka and these big items you mentioned on the SF. Able to fight around them. I'm still yet to, like, feel the drums of Slom.
Yeah, this item doesn't feel like it did anything in this game.
But maybe it did. We'll never know.
Keep an eye on Beastmaster. Let's see.
Oh yeah, TSM want to fight again with another gobble up roll. Connects onto Tino, Kisses coming in, and a quick kill on the Beastmaster should secure them a takedown. The Glimmer Cape buys a bit of time, but Tomato's there with Broil to slice him down. Carlo trapped in the Roche pit now, and the little Shredder makes short work of him, while Bob, he BKB Requiems, TSM disengaging. Arrow will slide on by and a TP home. Bob says bye-bye. Full evacuation. Bye-bye.
Yeah. They need to be the ones like initiating. Also, they need Roar to control either Night Stalker or Pangolier during the Rolling Thunder. And so far, Ari with the Gobble Up Spitouts on Rolling Thunder Pango, it does work out really well. This is also Pango that didn't go for level 15 Rolling Thunder duration. So he's like second and a half of that Rolling Thunder also gets taken away while he's flying and before he needs to use it. Going into Basher next, kind of necessary to be able to control them. You get the Lucky Basher and Shadow Fiend. He's channeling the Requiem. Buy a bit more time, then you focus him down. Seems like Execration wants to smoke, get stuff done. They smoke with 3 and probably want to backstab. Bob does have that Silver Edge available. This is a big kill. No BKB on Tomato.
And daytime just cracks as well. The sun rises, the Night Stalker falls. The sun sets on Tomato near those Ancients, and they're still charging forward here. Palos and Bob does get clipped by the Rolling Thunder. Input of shots landing, but Bob has BKB Soul Rip. Stands his ground, whacks back into Whitemon. And Execration, where's Palos heading? He wants another X-Mark, but TSM are on their high ground. Roshan respawning now.
Dino is kind of playing on a different side of the map right now. Wants to be able to get his BKB so does not get stunned, does not get silenced by a Night Stalker. Wants to be able to get that Primal Roar off, but he also needs to be playing with the team. Like, he needs to be there, roar this Pangolier, because if he doesn't get the shield crash off, Bob can right-click him down. He can kill him in one roar.
Yeah, just launched the hits from hell. And they're up high ground. Shadow Fiend doesn't have any lifesteal or anything, but has, plenty of heals from the rest of his team. Greaves out of Mirana. Soul Rips from the Undying.
Oh, big
That's
one.
A good gobble up. Whew. But now Palos has the ability with this X-Mark, arrow, boat, and everything. Kitchen sink chucked at them. They get a nice wall vacuum. Kisses launched in, but they just turn and fight them. They've broken the Dark Seer. Nearly dead Kasane retreats back towards Fountain. Your Rax is still alive, and Tomato looks to defend them with his life. Arrow not going to connect because the BKB is there. Kills off Tino and chases down Carlo now, and Dying's gone. And Tomato comes out with a double kill as TSM hold their high ground. Palos has BKB TP.
Roshan.
He wants to use the BKB to fight, though. They know that Night Stalker has no defenses. They get the kill on him. The gobble up, the spit forward. They want to kill Bob, but Bob says, no, I'm too strong for you. Whitemon tries the TP home. Oh, can they get him? Not quite.
That was
He's
so
back.
close. And Bob TP'd out. These are some really big fights for Execration. Like, the fights are back and forth. It's not just like Execration goes in, they get clean 3 or 4-0. TSM, they punch back, they get something done out of it, but Roshan should belong to Execration. Beastmaster's out, they need the aura. And again, they kill Beastmaster. He needs to survive to be able to get like multiple rounds of his abilities, maybe like even a second roar if he's level 18. Now it's
I'm surprised we have no force staffs on Execration. I'm a little bit surprised we didn't see one on the Mirana. I guess you can still go for Pike on Bob if you really want to. But there's nobody to save the Beastmaster. If he gets spotted by this Night Stalker, he's getting gone on. And he's likely dying.
Yeah, Mirana
Maybe
opted to go for Guardian Greaves, so a bit more like tankiness, which I really like. But maybe a Force Staff would have been good. And now Solar Crest. This item has been slightly buffed. You get extra attributes, like 1 extra stats, and you get extra 5 movement speed. But some of the items did get nerfed, so the item still feels like funky. I wouldn't say it's a top tier item at the moment, but we see it picked up more recently, which I really like. This item has been forgotten.
Yeah, it has. I think we've seen some more use cases for it as well. I know in one of the previous series, Shopify Rebellion were picking it up to put on their bear. We've seen it used against the Lone Druid Spirit Bear. We've seen it used against the bear as well, just to try and reduce his armor, kill it off. But yeah, putting it on a Shadow Fiend here with the Beastmaster auras makes him a real force to be reckoned with, Bob.
Now Bob. He picked up Shard from Roshan, holding the Aegis, and also Satanic available, so very difficult to kill. If they don't burst him from 100 to 0, he gets Satanic off. They're going to even put Solar Crest on top of him.
No, don't challenge the Bob.
Palos keeps doing the same thing. X-Mark keeps cutting the creep wave, so something that Dire does as well in the Radiant Triangle. It feels much more natural when you're playing Dire and then you're choking them out, so you can like have a closer entrances and you can backstab much better, I would say. Palos again with the X mark the spot, getting very close to his Hex.
Yeah, just making sure all the waves are trending towards TSM's base. And they've already cracked this mid lane open a little bit. So Shadow Fiend, with all his attack speed and the double damage rune, they need that disarm quickly. And slow down the process of elimination on these barracks. They can't hold it though. TSM going to have to think about how they approach this next fight, because it does hit nighttime now. Blink Dagger's up on the Darks here, so a couple more tools to be used by TSM. Blink Snap, Blink Darks here.
Long way until they can fight into Aegis. They're gonna smoke, try to get the pick off, but this could be it. One fight, the game could potentially end. Looking at the buyback status, there is one on Pango, one on Snapfire, but that's about it. And long wrap around the backstab. Palos.
The vision. The Hawk. It sees them coming. He gets off his BKB. They gobble up the Rolling Thunder, but the jump away. Bob is out of there, and Ari's in trouble. In they go, though, with a vacuum and a wall, but the Roar in onto Bryle. The Pango is stuck. Gets off his Blast Rig and the Shield Crash. So incredibly tanky. Execration realizing they couldn't finish him off because he was unkillable with those status buffs that he had on the Pango.
Yeah, and now they'll fix the lane. Shadow Fiend TP's out. Still big W for Execration. TSM use that buyback on Ari, so we'll not have it for the next fight. Still gonna be here, Palos. Got X mark before that, so let's see. Requiem still available. No BKBs on their side. Used all 3 of them, but looking with the Hex.
Oh, the Hex. Oh, Tomato. Oh, chain controlled up, and the damage is just relentless from Bob. Dead with no buyback now. Is he not even close, is he? No, 700 gold needed, so he's dead for 80 seconds. This is at least another lane for Execration.
That's why I said Bob can carry the game on his own, because he was off to such a great start. Had a good laning stage, got a great read about the ganks that TSM is going to make on him. Only died once. Bryle gets the bash off. No disarm this time, but as you said, this is going to be another set of barracks. They throw everything on top of him. Beastmaster Aura, Solar Crest as well. Level 23 on SF.
Well, that was meant to be an honest fight between the two boars. Lizard on lizard action, cut short by the Shadow Fiend, who just one hits it. And Bob repositions himself onto the bottom tier 3 now, as TSM have another 30-second wait for Night Stalker to respawn. They ping out on the right-hand
long
side.
30 seconds, Gary.
They see Kasane. They found the Darkseer with a Hawk, a Roar. They set it up to kill him. He's dead for a minute. Brawl and Whitemon trying to fight without the rest of their team, but they just can't get enough done. Ari wobbles back to Fountain. And TSM, not too much can be done now. As they shove back the Enchantress, hit her into the arrow. I think that was Beastmaster pushing with a Psychic Headband so the arrow would land. And Mega Creep's something that TSM have to face up against now on top of all the difficulties they've had already.
Yeah, they kind of griefed Darkseer there. Cookie into the team. Enchantress even forced him even deeper. So sitting on top of Shadow Fiend, Tomato going in with the BKB.
Well, let's see what he can do. He does pack a punch when he's able to hit, but unfortunately gets scythed up. He's a pig, and GG is called. They knew they didn't have much left in the tank. So Execration going to gather up their first victory here in this best of 2 up against TSM. Marana buying a Dagon right at the end as well.
To deal with the Darkseer illusions, wants to kill it one time. But yeah, I wouldn't say this is a clean game for Execration. Couple of mistakes in the mid game. Beastmaster